approach combines his skills as a former vet and sports physiologist using training techniques routinely used on human athletes. Special electrodes attached to the horses allow riders to monitor and record a horse's heart rate during interval training sessions. Analysis of the heart rate response and blood samples taken immediately afterwards is downloaded into a computer, allowing Naylor to assess how the horse's heart and muscles are performing and modify the training sessions accordingly.
We can see here the horse has reached a heart rate, level heart rate about 216. And from previous experience, I know that is this particular horse's maximum heart rate. And that tells me again that we have the horse working exactly in the right zone that I wanted for today's exercise. And we know that's right because there's the objective data here to show us, but also from having been up there with the horses, we can see the horse is still being held back, doing a nice strong gallop, but not overdoing it.
Naylor's methods could help produce a rival to Scepter, who was regarded by many as the greatest British racehorse of all time. His scientific approach recognises the value of traditional training methods that keep horses happy and willing to race.
So it's a combination approach. It's not just pure sort of new science. So we're trying to use different approaches taken from different aspects of other people's efforts and put them all together to bring together what we hope is a good, rational, sensible and humane, sympathetic approach to training them.
Naylor's approach ensures that running and maximum levels of fitness go together. The stables have become a scientific testbed for one of man's enduring passions, how to make racehorses run faster. Well, our next guest is a bloke who's able to make racehorses run faster as a jockey and as a trainer. He won the 1985 Melbourne Cup aboard What a Nuisance, and he's been a very handy trainer for a number of years, and he's going to saddle up the favourite in the last Londolese. His name is Patrick Hyland, and here he is with Gerard Whateley.
Yes, Londolese trying to get a few of us out of trouble. Pat, she does hold her form when she hits it.
Yes, Gerard, she raced very well last year in top company, and she's only had the 2 runs this time in, and they've only been short wins, but she's won, and you can't do any more than win. But I'm terribly happy with her.
What about the heat? It's knocked us around. How will it suit the mares?
Well, if she could talk, she'd probably want to go home. But they've all got to go through it, so we've got to, we're not going to know that until later in the day anyway. But as I say, they've all got to go through it. They've all been given their, salts and things that we give them to try and help them get through the heat. We knew it was going to be hot 2 days ago, so... Yeah, I'm comfortable that she'll handle that all right, but, she's a great little mare.
And you're a pretty happy man given the Sydney's win last night over St Kilda.
Oh, yes, that was really good. I had to watch them win at 2 o'clock this morning, but still it was excellent, yeah.
Good on you, Pat, and good luck in the last.
Thanks, Gerard.
Pete, that's something to get out on, perhaps.
Yeah, let's hope so, Gerard, and good luck to Pat Hyland, one of the great blokes of the racing game. Well, let's see what Londolese is showing on the tote at the moment. It is still the favourite at $4.60, episode $19.30. Then we go down to Hula Wonder, as we said, loves this track, $5.40, 21 for Chow Baby. Carmen S, $10.80, Northern Song, $6.40. And of those, well, probably Londolese is the one that's tightened up. You can see market prices tightened up $1.60 into $6.90. Good value about the rest of them, apart from La Mukhtar, number 12 on that page, which is $6.20, but it's gone out 90 cents. So a bit of money there for market price in race 9, but Londolese is still a favourite. 4:45 is the starting time. It's around about 12 minutes away from now. Well, Gerard Whateley has been a busy boy. Not only is he in the mounting yard trying to help to find the winner of the last, but he's also been out bright and early this morning to see if he can come up with the last winner.
It's time to get out, and we're left with the mares over 1,400 metres. And it's a case of deja vu.
Busy Long Legs has looked to be a long way back, nearing the 200. Still Northern Song in front, a little tired. Londolese coming after it, and then the Lady Elsie getting a run on the inside. Northern Song being tackled by Londolese. Londolese, Northern Song, they're down to the line together. Oh, it could go either way. Londolese, Northern Song have hit it locked together on the line. And
Peter Hayes hopeful Northern Song can turn the tables with the weights remaining the same.
Yeah, I thought she'd won. It was a shame to see her get beat, but the other mare's been going very well and has been very genuine. So, there were 2 very good mares fighting it out, Londolese.
If not, Hayes is ideally placed to pinch the race anyway, with Market Price beaten in 3 starts over the trip.
This Market Price out deep. It's Accuse and Market Price now. They're going to the line, little between them. Market Price the outside and Accuse.
But Londolozi is not easily beaten, having racked up 2 wins on him.
In the clear, and Londolozi reaching the 150. Live at the leader with Hula Wonder coming out after it now. Denickling getting a run on the inside. Londolozi and Lamuk to the outside. Hula Wonder and Londolozi reach the lead together. Hula Wonder, Londolozi got up and beat Hula Wonder.
The class in the race is the Group 1 winning mare Episode.
Look, we scratched her last week, not because there was any problem with her. I just thought barrier 16 was probably a little bit tough for her to be sitting out covering a fair bit of ground, whereas we've had an extra week. She's been able to get that little bit fitter, and now 1400 was the track and distance that she won first up before the autumn campaign last year. So she's done enough work. She looks really good, and even though it's pretty tough at the top end of the weight scale now for her, I'm sure she'll acquit herself pretty well.
Carmenesque, another suited by the conditions after a good first up second.
Carmenesque is coming at the lot of them out wider now. She might have hit the front. All Sand on the rail. Carmenesque out wide. They're wide apart. All Sand is fighting on well on the fence. Here's the line, and All Sand on the inside has won it from Carmenesque.
Well, generally these races are pretty tough for the mares, and especially on a hot day might make it even tougher. But let's see if we can find you the winner of the Chairman's Club Stakes. It is a Group 3 event, and first of all, Alfie, a horse that comes from the stable with which you're well acquainted, the David Hall stable, Episode. She is the class filly. She won nearly everything in South Australia last year, and she can go first up. She won over 1,400 metres at this meeting last year.
Correct, Peter. She's a lovely mare now, and I'd love to see her go well. I don't know whether she's quite trained up to actually perform in a race like this, but nevertheless, I think she'll run well. She just looks to be carrying a touch of beef under the belly there.
Just a little bit, but she's lovely and bright in the coat, isn't she?
Yeah,
she looks terrific. There's Londolozi. We've already spoken to Pat Hyland about her. She is ultra consistent. She does race handy, and she's drawn to do so again, and she's in line for a hat-trick, and I wouldn't bet against her making it.
Well, that's why she's favourite. She's going to take up the run of the race, and she's going to probably dictate the race, and, whether she hangs on.
Luna Tudor, number 3, is out. Number 4, Hula Wonder, absolutely loves this track. Has had 5 starts here for 3 wins, and really just finds a leg when she gets to Flemington. That's number 4, Hula Wonder, we're talking about, and we'll have a look at her shortly. That is actually Patrick Hyland's runner, is it? It is number 4. Well, it's had a change of colours. No, that's number 14. So that is Lady Camelot. So we'll find out number 4, Hula Wonder. And let's see if we can find her. She's actually just going down the race now, heading out behind the first couple, so we'll see if we can get a shot of her. But she is a really consistent Flemington horse. There she is.
I was going to say, I can see it, and she looks pretty good to me. And she's the horse that I really like in the race. I thought her last run was outstanding. Patrick Payne drawn okay, so yep, I don't have a problem with her at all.
I thought I was going mad there. They'd painted 3 white socks and a blaze on Hula Wonder. Not last time I saw it.
I thought exactly the same, but you had to explain it.
Number 5, Chow Baby, first up for 4 months. Danny Brereton, the rider for Bruce Purcell at Cranbourne.
Yeah, probably from 2, it's probably going to get back a little bit. I think it might have a little bit of traffic ahead of it to sort of get home. Generally, it needs a run or 2.
Number 6 is Carmenesque, has drawn the coveted inside gate here at the 1,400 metres. Damien Oliver, the rider for Bruce Elkington, and chased home Episode at this meeting 12 months ago, and then game first up second at Caulfield. That's number 6, Carmenesque, we're talking about.
And not quite in the class of a horse like Episode, but nevertheless, it's got a couple of kilos less than Episode as well. However, this horse will probably take up the running just behind the leaders, and Damien will give it every chance, genuine chance.
And there's Carmenesque heading over towards the 1,400 metre barrier. Number 7 is Northern Song in the Peter Hayes stable. Nash Rawiller, the rider. Classy mare, led and battled on in the mannerism. Yet to win a 1,400 though in 8 attempts.
No, that's true, and it's probably the one that's going to put the pressure on Londolozi. Yeah, that's the thing that really worries me, the 1,400 metres.
It is a little bit difficult to find some of these horses as they head over towards the other side of the track, but we'll keep on talking up the chances of them. Number 9, Vale, can you make a case for it, Alfie?
Well, I like it better on damper tracks.
Yeah, I think you can forget the last run because it was trap wide, but the previous form was very consistent. Glenn Boss, the rider for Greg Mance. Number 10, Market Price, has drawn right off the track here. Greg Childs, gate number 15 for the Peter Hayes stable. Last stride victory here on February the 27th. Will be running on pretty well.
Well, if you follow your horses, all right, like it's beaten a horse like Accuse. So the Accuse, we saw it win quite well earlier. Look, I expect it to run really well. I think you've probably summed it up. Barrier 15 is not going to help it.
Number 12, La Mukhtar, goes well here. Neville Wilson is the rider, and won 2 from 2 at 1400 metres, and has got a nice weight pull on Londolese from Caulfield as well.
And if the speed's on, this will be well suited.
Number 13 is Fellowship. Aaron Spiteri takes the ride for the wily old trainer George Hanlon at Geelong. And going back into the spring, this horse finished 3rd to Bonanova in the Tristarc Stakes, so if it comes up with a run anything like that, it'll be in this up to its eyes.
It does come to hand fairly quickly, Peter. Only its second run, and I expect it to be a bold roughie.
Now, we had a bit of a sneak look at number 14, Lady Camelot, before. Ran on okay at Caulfield. Jason Patton, the rider for Terry Kelly.
Well, the camera spent enough time on it. Probably worn up everything.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, I think it might struggle.
Yeah, and so too will probably number 15, Western Dove. Well, I didn't see daylight at Caulfield. Wasn't the worst run, but she too is at long odds.
I agree.
So what did you come up with for a trifecta in the last for those people trying to get out, or maybe double their winnings?
Oh, look, I'm going to go Hula Wonder, Lozalondi.
Or even Londolese.
Londolese, yeah, I suppose. And I'll put Northern Song in to fall into 3rd spot, but it'll only be falling into it.
Yeah, well, I've gone for exactly the same 3, but I thought Londolese is just so consistent that she might be able to win again from Hula Wonder and Northern Song. It's been
judging by my last performance, it'll probably run second again anyway.
a long, hot day it's been here at Flemington. Thanks, Alfie. There's the map of the Chairman's Club Stakes, starting way over on the far side of the track, and we can't emphasise enough about the 1400 here that barriers are certainly incredibly important. You don't like to see horses drawn out wide here because they can be posted out wide for practically the entire journey at the 1400. Let's head down to the betting ring, see if there's been any activity as people try and blast out or double their winnings. Mark Aston, tell us some more.
Yes, Peter, plenty of activity actually. Londolese, Hula Wonder and Market Price are now all favourites at each way odds, but the one they've come for is Market Price, and I agree with what Alf said. The reason for that is that she beat Accuse last start, and of course Accuse won the last race. Also in the market is Episode, but at reasonable odds, and I can tell you that Colin the Coat Puller has suggested that you have something on Fellowship, and I noticed you and Alf were reasonably keen about Fellowship's chances at good odds. George Hanlon, Aaron Spiteri, so perhaps one to get out on, Pete.
OK, Mark, thanks very much. Mark Aston is there. Roy Higgins is here, courtesy of Sport 927. Now, Higgs, can you find us the winner of the last?
Well, if you give me enough time, I will. I'm not... look, it's typical one of these mares races. There's a very even bunch of mares racing around at present, and 3 or 4 of those, I think, are the main chances in the race. I went with the 4 Hula Wonder. She's had the 2 runs from a spell now. She looked excellent in the yard. I think she's well suited here. P. Payne from an inside gate. She's going to give you one heck of a sight. Certainly the 2 Londolese, the one that Alfie couldn't pronounce properly. I must say, she looks outstanding. She's got muscles on muscles. She's an on-pace runner. She will give you one heck of a sight. Number 12 here, La Mukta. This is the best this filly or mare has ever looked. I must say, if they were running on, which they're not, I would have marked her probably on top. That's how well she looks. But I'll take the odds and put her into my trifecta. And number 7, Northern Song, is always thereabouts and will give you a good sight. Her stablemate also looked well here today in number 10, Market Price. But for the last on the program, I marked them 4, 2, 12 and 7. Pete, it's been a long, hot, drawn-out day.
It has been a warm day. I was just going to ask you, are you still racing any horses? Because if you are, I think I might be able to ride them for you later in the week.
I was going to say the ones I'm racing I can normally beat. So.
Before you go, can I just ask you your impressions of Intergaze? I thought it was just one of the most outstanding performances that I've seen in an Australian Cup for a horse to do that. Craig Carmody really had no option because the horse took control of him over by about the 1300. But I thought he summed it up beautifully, and it was just the performance of a courageous racehorse.
Craig won't mind me saying this, but the horse won the race.
Yeah.
The horse went out, and when there was no cover in the early part of the race, which I mentioned on camera prior to the race, that he's a horse that likes to get a cover, will relax. If he doesn't get cover, he's off. That's exactly what happened. He took control of Craig. Craig had no alternative. He just went along for the ride. He unfortunately, or fortunately, he dropped his whip about 300 out, and the horse just kept running. That is what you call a true grit horse. Yeah. He's a fair dinkum thoroughbred racehorse, that fellow, and he just gave his heart and soul. And good luck to young Craig. He went along for the ride.
He went along for the ride, and what a ride it was.
I'm marking points on the day. day I gave the 10 points to the horse.
Exactly. And the straight here at Flemington's about, I think it's 453 metres. It would have looked like about 1.9 kilometres to him, wouldn't it?
I was thinking of poor young Craig coming to the corner. I said, any minute these horses are going to go straight past him and he's going to feel disappointed. Wasn't to be. Great horse, big heart.
Yeah,
and, I think we saw it all today.
Yeah, we did see it all, and I thought Octagonal's Australian Cup here a few years ago was one of the best I'd seen, but that ranks right up there with it for courage.
Yeah, well, I always say Saintly and Let's Elope are the best two I saw.
Roy,
we always differ, Pete. I'll see you next Saturday.
Thanks for your time. Look forward to it.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Roy Higgins, courtesy of Sport 927. Well, these runners are filling the gates over at the 1400 metres for the running of the last. We've only got a few to move in. And it has been a terrific day. If you're just joining us, maybe just coming in, Pins earlier in the day completed the Triple Crown, got the $250,000 bonus when it won the Cadbury Guineas, and as we've just been talking about, Intergaze number 1 recorded just a stunning victory in the AAMI Australian Cup, and he'll be heading off to Widden Stud this season after targeting the riches in the Sydney Autumn Carnival. He is just such a courageous racehorse. Okay, there's only a couple to go in. They're just leading up one or two. Londolozi, you can see there in the check colours, just heading over behind the gates. And so she is going to be the last of them. And they're leading her up. So we'll take the opportunity of heading upstairs to the commentary box and the man who's called so well as always today, Sport 927's Brian Martin.
Last on the card, Australian Cup Day. Signal given. Pakenham Cup on Wednesday. And they're ready for race 9 today. A very hot day, up around 33, 34 degrees. The last stalls are back in their racing. Hula Wonder a little bit slow. La Mukta went straight out to the back after the start. Northern Song bounced quickly, got away fast in front now from moving up Vale second. Over on the inside, Carmanesque in the early point with Fellowship, and pushing forward on the outside of those is Londolozi. Northern Song led Vale and Londolozi, and further back in the race then came Carmanesque over along the inside, followed out wider, making some ground episode, but deeper length and a half. Western Dove from Chow Baby, Hula Wonder, Fellowship, Market Price, La Mukta, and last of all, Lady Camelot. They went quick early. Northern Song about a length in front now from Vale at the 850 metre mark. 2 lengths further back is Carmanesque over along the inside of Londolozi, and 3 wide episode. A length and a half further back, Hula Wonder over on the inside of Chow Baby when they come up to the 600 metre mark, and Western Dove 3 deep. 2 further back, La Mukta got up on the inside of Market Price, Fellowship. Lady Camelot last of all, coming around the turn, 500 to go, and Northern Song about 2.5 to Vale. A length further back, Carmanesque at the 400. Northern Song's gone 3 in front of Vale. Carmanesque, Hula Wonder, La Mukta back on the inside. Market Price running in behind them. Londolozi under a lot of pressure from Episode, and the widest runner on the outside, Fellowship. But Northern Song down inside the 200 metre mark, a good 3 or 4 lengths in front. La Mukta gets to second. Market Price from Vale, and then Western Dove. Northern Song in front. La Mukta and Market Price are flashing home late, but Northern Song 3/4 to the stablemate Market Price. Ahead third is La Mukta, a gap to Western Dove and Fellowship. Further back was Carmanesque from Vale, then Hula Wonder. A gap in the race further afield then came Lady Camelot, Chow Baby. A couple of these mares haven't fired today. Londolozi back there with it as Episode.
Well, I think Brian Martin made a good point there today. A couple of the mares not firing today, and maybe it did have something to do with the heat. As we mentioned in the pre-race interview with Pat Hyland, it could very well have been that, you don't know until after the race whether they've been affected by the heat. Northern Song certainly wasn't, and there are the interim dividends. It's defeated Market Price and La Mukta. Numbers there 7, 10 and 12. Another bold front-running win and a bold front-running ride by Nasharawilla. Never looked like getting beaten, really. Straightened up with an advantage of 3, probably has won by a length and a half or so, and had the race safely in its keeping all the way down the straight. And that is Northern Song's first victory in 9 attempts at 1400 metres. She has been a very consistent mare. And the Peter Hayes stable have ended Australian Cup Day with a winner. And they've actually ended it with a Quinella, because Market Price also comes out of the same yard. And there is the style of Northern Song striding away in front of this big crowd. The new grandstand under construction in the background, hands and heels. He is a beautifully balanced rider, this young man, Nasharawilla, and he has come up through the riding ranks very quickly. Just a young man, but certainly able to match it with the best that we've got. Market Price running on well for second, and La Mukta, number 12, in third placing, ridden by a veteran in Neville Wilson. So the numbers there, 7, 10 and 12. Time was 1:22.6. Peter Hayes is now with Mark Aston.
Yeah, and Peter's pretty happy to be chatting to us at the moment. Pete, we haven't spoken to you for the last 3 days.
I was coming up for a duck, actually, and I don't remember the family not having a winner at this carnival I don't know, it'll be a record that I wouldn't want, I think. So it was, but we came good in the last, first and second. This mare's deserved this. She's been so consistent and so genuine. And the other mare was a bit unlucky. You know, she just got held up for a run at the crucial time and stormed home late. So they both ran terrific.
Well, Northern Song's been very consistent and had a few cracks at 1400.
Ah, yes. I mean, she's been beaten. She ran 9 seconds, you know, and, and she really deserved that today.
Good on you, Pete. Well done.
Thank
Congratulations.
you.
Peter Hayes there, Pete. And, well, he'd be pretty happy with that because we haven't chatted to him for a while.
He certainly is, Mark Oaston, and so he should be. That was a good win by Northern Song. And here is that young man that I was paying a compliment to, Nashua Willa. What a fine rider he is, and he's with Johnny Letts.
Yes, Pete, and what a great front-running ride. Nash rated it beautifully. Nash, just take it through from barrier rise.
Johnny, she left the gates beautiful, and I was amazed to see him sort of all happy to sit off me today. Just was able to cruise along in front and waited for as long as I wanted to, you know.
Yeah, nothing took it up to you at all, did they? And it made it easy for you to get the 1400 then. She was a little bit doubtful at 14, wasn't she, before she went out?
I think she runs a pretty good 14. Johnny, she probably just runs into one better than her, you know. She's been a bit stiff.
She's an honest little mare, isn't she? She's always been very honest, but, you know, as you were saying today, they left you alone. And that played right into your hands.
Sure did, Johnny. Yeah, I'm just scrapped to get a winner, mate.
Yeah, this is a great front-runner ride too, Nash. Congratulations, mate. Good on you, mate.
It was a fine front-running ride by Nashua Willa. And John Letts out there speaking to him as he comes back to scale after the running of the final event on the card today. Well, we're going to have a look at the results of all races here from Flemington this afternoon, if you may be just joining us, so to see what happened earlier on AAMI Australian Cup Day as Nash comes back aboard Northern Song here in the final event through the archway. And that's the spot where the Melbourne Cup winner comes through on the first Tuesday in November. Back to the first. Slipstream at 15 to 1. Successful, paid $21.90 and at $7 even. Good result for the bookmakers. Darren Gauci, the winning rider. Matthew Elton, the winning trainer. Toorak Thunder second, 170. Blab third, $1.50. 15 to 1, 7 to 2 and 3 to 1 there in the first on the card. Race 2, and Lizophony certainly found her best form. She was a winner over the Carnival here. In fact, Frankie Dettori broke his duck at Flemington when he won on her, and she found her best form today to win, starting at 7 to 1. Second was Porter Rocker at 4 to 1, and third was Valdor at 14 to 1, the trifecta, paying $485.50. Third race on the card, victory here to the favourite Ruby Sun, is a little bit green but is very, very good. Greg Childs had to ride this horse on one rein most of the way down the straight. It returned $2.50 and $1.90. Karak Gold was second, $2.60, no third for emotional success, and the trifecta paying $97.60. The first of our telecast races, well, it was to be, but there was a little bit of drama earlier in the day when Flemington was hit by a power blackout in the middle of this race. So no big screen, no race call, but super impressive was super impressive, number 8. It paid $1.90 and $1.20. Classic Secret $2.40. Blazing Steel returned $3.50, and the trifecta in race 4 was $117.20. Then the first of the big ones. And what a performance it was by Pins, number 2. He had been under a cloud right up until the time of the race. He actually underwent a veterinary inspection at the stalls before the race. Pins $2.50 and $1.70. Freemason $2.40. Hades no third. Trifecta $60.10, and Pins collects the $250,000 Triple Crown bonus. Race 6, an outsider, Rory's Power, number 9, collected the money here, ridden by Peter Mertens, $35 and $8.80, defeating Ruthless Tycoon and Cash Crop. Trifecta $9,500 almost on race 6. Second of the features, a truly remarkable performance by Intergaze, number 1 in the AAMI Australian Cup. Went to the front at the 1300, led by 8 lengths at one stage and held them all off in the run to the line. $5.80 and $2.50. Arena $2.60, Streak running home $13.70. Trifecta $1,931. Race 8, victory here to Accused, landed some very good bets. $6.50 and $2.10. Weasel Will was second, $2.10. Sybil List third, $3.10, and the trifecta in race 8 paid $276 even. And on the last, it was 7 Northern Song, 10 Market Price and 12 Lamukta, and we'll have the official dividends as soon as correct weight is declared on race 9. Well, I do have a bit of a confession to make late in the day here, and that is, of all these wonderful horses, I've got such great admiration for Intergaze and what he did today, but I do have a favourite horse. and he's not racing at the moment, but he's always here at Flemington. His name is Sub-Zero, and I think he's your favourite, Lynn Talbot, too, isn't he?
I know we're not supposed to have favourites, but yes, I think Sub-Zero here, who's just completed an amazing day's work, taking all the jockeys out and the horses with Graham Salisbury as clerk of the course. I think he's the people's favourite since he won the Melbourne Cup back in 1991, and that's just 1992, sorry, Graham. He is the people's favourite, isn't he?
Yes, he is the people's favourite. Everybody on course love him.
Yeah, that's right. And he's off to Dubai for the world's richest horse race on Wednesday, which is on the 25th of March, isn't it?
He goes on the 15th.
Does he? And he's off there for the world's richest race. What is he doing? He's obviously not racing. Is he playing clerk of the course there?
Yeah, he's the clerk of the course there, and he's going to do the World Cup, and he's got a street parade to do.
A street parade.
And he's got to do Breakfast with the Stars. And
he's become quite a celebrity, hasn't he? What happens during Breakfast with the Stars?
Well, he just meets all the sheikhs and the sheikhs' wives and things like that, and just behaves himself.
He's one of the best behaved horses. And what are the other roles over there?
He's got to go into the golf club over there and do a beauty contest.
A beauty contest?
Yeah, a beauty contest. He's got to pick the best dressed lady, the best hat, and believe it or not, he's going to have to try and pick the best looking lady in the place.
Subby, can you do that? Can you pick the best lady? There you go, a big yes from Sub-Zero over to Dubai very soon for the world's richest horse race.
Yes, what an amazing horse he is. Thanks very much to Lynn Talbot and to Graham Salisbury there. And I think I actually might call past Graham's place on the way home tonight because Subby will probably cook me dinner. It's the only thing he can't do. Now, Des Gleeson about to declare correct weight on the last. And he does. So weight is right there, brought to you by Truth, and we can bring you the official dividends now on Super Tab for the running of the final event on the card. Northern Song returned $6.10 and $2.40. Market price $2.10. La Mukta paid $2.60. The trifecta was $229.50. The Quinella $16.90. The Exacta $40.70, and the race-to-race double on the last two events, and that was for number 8 Accused into number 7 Northern Song. It has returned a dividend of $65.40. All right, there is Northern Song heading up for a well-deserved shower after winning the final event. Bold front-running ride by Nasra Willow. And for Victorian viewers, we should point out that we will be back with you on Saturday, the 18th of March, for a big day. It is the third day of the Carnival, Sires Produce Stakes Day, and that telecast live throughout Victoria between 2 and 5. All right, that just about brings to a close the day, and I'll remember this day for a long time, Alfie, principally because of that stirring win by Indigos. I thought it was just outstanding.
Well, Peter, I think every day is great at the races, and it's just another, chapter in history, I suppose.
It is another chapter in history, and we've been privileged to be here and see it and to bring it to you live around Australia on Network 10. Our thanks to Mark Oaston down in the betting ring, Roy Higgins for his input, Lynn Talbot around the course, and also to Gerard Waitley. We hope you've enjoyed our telecast. Again, congratulations to Rod Craig, to Craig Carmody, and to that mighty horse Indigos, and also to Clary Connors, Shane Dye and Pins for collecting the Triple Crown. We'll look forward to your company next time on 10. Hope you've backed a winner. From Flemington, I'm Peter Donegan. Goodbye.